Welcome back, everyone, to the General Session 2, the final session of Club Officer Training. I'm Deborah Weiner, and I'm a distinguished Toastmaster, a member of the Speakers Bureau, and several other Toastmaster clubs. And over the last 12 years, I served in every officer role and experienced what you're all learning about today. My latest position was serving as the D57, District 57 acting trio club growth director. And I'm going to continue working with this year's D205 and D206 directors. And I am a certified life and business coach. I'm going to be presenting today with Renee Remy. And Renee has been a member of San Carlos Toastmasters for over 6 years. Her Toastmasters experience includes club officer roles, area director, leadership trainer, and conference speaker. She is a certified John Maxwell leadership trainer and a transformational coach. So we are your co-trainers today for General Session 2. And I wanted to ask all of you to put any questions or responses into the chat. We have 60 minutes, I think, still today for General Session 2. So we're going to be moving along at a very quick pace. So I hope that you found your individual breakout rooms to be valuable, and now you feel more confident in understanding your specific role. In this session, we're going to bring all of the concepts together that you've been learning today, and we're going to focus from individual roles to how to work collectively as an executive committee, as a club officer, to build a strong and successful club. I'm going to be starting with leadership versus management today, and then I'll be handing the mic over to Renee after I'm finished with my topics to talk about how to build effective teams. So in General Session 1 today, we discussed the transferable skills that you learn as club officers and the mission statements and what they mean, club's strategic plans, and how to ensure that your club becomes a quality team. So you've just attended your breakout session, and now you know all the responsibilities of your roles, I hope. So in General Session 2, we're going to concentrate on how to develop your leadership skills as a club officer and how to build a successful team. And we're going to discuss some of the things like administrative tasks and other responsibilities that you will have as an officer, including financial management and monitoring your member participation in pathways. And we will also discuss the basics of Toastmasters branding and highlight the key dates with the Toastmasters calendar for the year that will include month by month responsibilities for each of you. Next slide, please. Leadership and team development. Let's begin with what's at the heart of every successful Toastmasters club. It's a successful team. So for all of you club executive officers, you're going to learn about how you can work together, how you can support each other, and lead with purpose, and how that will influence the success of your club. As we move through all these sections, it's important to think not just about your own individual role, but how you can contribute to the overall team. Next slide, please. Okay. So each Toastmaster club has 8 officers, each with distinct roles. And if each of the 8 officers on the slide could be summarized in one single word, what word or noun could you describe as that one word? I will look in the chat to see what some of you have to say. Now let's begin with president. Can anyone think of a word that describes the role of president? Okay, I'm looking at P. Narhis. All right. Anyone else? For example, you might want to say, what word do I think of when I think of a president? Would it be leader or inspire? Does that sound right? Can anyone think of any other words? How about the role of vice president? Okay. Next, we would go on to the vice president of membership. Not really seeing any. Let's see. Am I seeing any messages in the chat? Not really seeing them. Can anyone think of a word that describes?
Able to. There's a whole bunch in the chat.
Okay, I for some reason. Okay, probably just. All right, now I'm seeing them. Yes. Thank you for your responses. And then how about the role of vice president of public relations?
Could you repeat the question?
I'm asking if anyone can think of a word that describes these different officer roles. You know, we started with president, and then we'll go on to vice president of education. Actually, the slide,
Promotion. Vice president of public relations involves promotion and relation.
Yeah.
Promoting. Yeah, basically promoting.
Yeah, that's right, Carol. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then we'll go, you know, club president, vice president of education, vice president of membership. So when you think of, you know, you see these titles, you know, jot down a word that you think describes, what's the role of that particular officer? Vice president of public relations. Let's see. Oh, we got lots of people. Representation, creativity. People. How about the word, a word that could describe what's the role of a secretary? Record keeper, archivist. Yeah, good answers. Historian. Yeah, recorder. How about the role of the officer role of treasurer? What do you think? What's one word that you think of when you think of the treasurer role? Money. Give me the money. I like that, Elliot. Give me the money. Organization. Financial health of your club. That's very good, Saeed. Count the money. And how about the role of sergeant of arms? Now, what do you think about when you think of your sergeant of arms? Welcoming and organizing. Yes, that's right. Hospitality. Also, tech host. It depends what on your club, but that can be that serve that a person can serve that that job. The epitome. What is this? Timing. The physical plant. And how about the immediate past president? What do you think of when you think of your immediate past president? Knowledgeable. Counselor. That's true. And mentor. That is very true. The advisor, they have past knowledge. They've served in that role. Well, the club president, I think you all did a really good job in giving feedback on what you think the description of all these roles are. So together, these 8 roles form the club executive committee. And the executive committee works together to plan, to innovate, and to accomplish club goals that result in a high quality club that meets members' needs. Leadership versus management. What is the difference? Well, often the terms leadership and management are used interchangeably, but they're not really the same. How would you ask yourself, how would you define the difference between leadership and management? Next slide, please. Leadership is inspiring a team towards a common vision. Next slide, please. Leadership also, while inspiring people, it helps people to participate, to grow, and to stay engaged. Where management is the allocation, coordination, and administration of tasks and resources to achieve goals. Both leadership and management are very important. And as club officers, we want you to be leaders first. So ask yourself, how would you achieve that? Next slide, please. Looks like it feels like we've moved along pretty quickly. So I'm going to now turn over the mic to Renee, who's going to talk about team building and the importance of creating strong teams.
All right. Thank you so much, Deborah. All right. Let's see. Think a moment about a team you've been a part of, whether in Toastmasters, at work, or in another organization. And chances are the teams that stood out to you had strong communication, clear roles, and a sense of shared purpose. And just as importantly, they most likely had leadership that created a positive and supportive environment. As club officers, you now have the opportunity to create that kind of team experience for others. And that starts with being intentional about how your team works together. I have 3 questions for you right now. In terms of team building, what is one thing that has worked for you and why? Feel free to drop that in the chat. What's one thing that's worked with you when it worked for you when it comes to team building, and why? Caring members, socializing together, communication on time, leading by example. Love that. So, what advice would you offer a new team member about team building? What advice would you offer a new team member about team building? Adapting to personal situations, inviting ideas, active participation, asking questions. Good. We often learn more from our less than successful efforts than we do from our most successful efforts. What I'd like you to do right now is I would like you to think about how you would build an effective team. An effective team does not happen by accident. It's built through clear expectations, strong communication, and mutual support. When a team functions well, members understand their goals and their roles, and they trust one another, and they work collaboratively together toward shared goals. So, what is one strategy that you will use to build an effective team? What's one strategy that you've learned that's going to help build this? Get to know your team members. Yes, shows that you care about them. What's another strategy that you might use? Oh, yes, please do your DCP, the Distinguished Club Plan. As we learned in General Session 1, it's a must, not a nice to have. Good communication. Those are all important. And there are 4 key priorities I want to talk about that help build an effective team right now. These are your team building priorities. The first one is setting goals. If you have clear objectives and team goals, like your club success plan, this supports the setting goals. The second one is role clarification. Everyone knows that what they will do. So each officer should understand not only their own responsibilities, but how their role connects with others within the executive committee. The third one is problem solving. How do we more effectively meet the needs of members? Every club faces challenges, and strong teams address them proactively. It's important to identify and address your club status at the beginning of each year. Then we have interpersonal relations, how you communicate, how you get along with your team, how you operate as a team. These things build trust, right? Communication and support. These things are the very foundation of any successful team. When these four elements are in place, your team is positioned to succeed and your club is positioned to thrive. So let's take a closer look at communication. Strong teams are built on strong communication. For your club executive committee to function effectively, it's essential that communication is clear, consistent, and ongoing. You need to make sure that your methods of communication in meetings, outside of meetings, and around club meetings are ones in which everyone has access to, is looking at, so that everyone is on the same page. So this includes communication between officers and also communication between your club members. Whether you use email, messaging apps, or announcements during meetings, the specific tool matters less than the consistency of communication. Have a communications plan. And remember, even if a communication tool is standard in your corporation, if no one is using it, you need to have an alternative form of communication. And when communication is strong, expectations are clear, issues are addressed quickly, and members feel informed and included. So, how will you establish clear lines of communication between each other in the executive committee members and the club? Go ahead and pop a few ideas in the chat about how you're going to establish these clear communications. Am I not scrolling? Is the chat stuck? Okay, executive meetings. Thank you, Bill. Agreeing on the tool for communication, yes. And make sure that tool is working, right? That is so important. I've worked with clubs who've said, yeah, this is what our organization uses, but no one ever pays attention to it, so no one's getting the message. Keep it simple. Yes, silly. Thank you, Russell. WhatsApp, if that's what works, emails, right? Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, there's all sorts of possibilities. All right. Thank you very much. Let's talk about the 5 stages of team development. Go ahead and drop in the chat some of the emotions that you might have experienced as a new member of a team, any team. Just drop some of those emotions in the chat. We're going to talk about those today. So teams naturally go through 5 stages of development, and these stages are known as forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Yep, let's see. Oh, okay, so let's talk about forming. In the forming stage, right, people are usually excited, they have high expectations, and they have a little fear, a little anxiety. And in the forming stage, team members are getting to know each other and are often they're very positive, even though there's that little bit of uncertainty. Then we have the storming stage. This is where we experience some disappointment, some conflict, and you're figuring out how to talk to each other. You work with each other, you resolve conflicts, and you express your ideas, and you learn to honor the value of other people's ideas. But there is friction as this is going on and you're figuring this out. But once you've figured this out, you get to the norming stage. And the norming stage is where you take a deep breath and you go, ah. And this is where you're appreciating the gifts of everyone else in your executive team and in your club. Trust is being built and affirmed, and you begin to find alignment and establish effective ways of working together. And then you get to performing. my favorite stage. And in the performing stage, you're feeling confident in yourself and your team. The team is operating efficiently and effectively, and you're working together. You're able to hear each other and build upon each other's ideas and expand them and grow. You're going towards shared goals and you're hitting goals that you chose in the beginning when you did that success plan at the very beginning of the year. And you're thinking, this is nice. And you get to a journey. This is the final stage. And this is where you have a variety of emotions that are going on, and they include grief and celebration and hope, right? You get to celebrate all that you've achieved, and you get to grieve the loss of the team that is now. But there is hope for all that may come in the coming year with the new team that you're preparing to move in, and the current club officers are transitioning their roles and how smoothly it's going to the new club officers at the end of the Toastmasters year. Forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. That's what you can expect as you go through the team development year. All right, that's the end of the team building section. So please welcome back Deborah, someone who's held every club officer at some point, every role and as a club officer at some point, and she's going to speak to you about club administration.
Thank you, Renee. How to keep your club running smoothly? Well, there's this thing called club administration. Now, we know this is a volunteer organization, and some of you may think, well, this is what I do at work. It's not really what I want to do by belonging to a club, but it's a very necessary part of it. And it can be fun learning these new things that can really help you in other areas of your life. So when we shift to the topic of club administration, it includes, we're talking about all the operational tasks that keep a club functioning effectively, and it includes every role. So things like managing membership, tracking, the progress, your points, how many members you're getting, and how many people are fulfilling their paths along the way, the educational paths. It's about handling finances and payments and ensuring that the club records are all correct and accurate. So at first it may seem like a lot. And I did like in the chat what Jenny said, that failure is part of the path to success. So if you are not failing, you are not learning. And Toastmasters is all about having fun and growing and learning. So don't be afraid to take on a role. And within each Toastmaster club, the administrative tasks that are included, they vary. Someone might be have a certain role as membership, but maybe the treasurer's collecting the dues instead of, and in other clubs, maybe the membership VP is collecting the money. So the administrative tasks vary from club to club, but they all need to get done somehow. And it all really does turn out to be manageable and even rewarding. And it helps when you're working with other people, you get to know them better. So it's a win-win because you're learning something new and you're getting to know a new friend. So while leadership, it does inspire and motivate, club administration does allow members to thrive and achieve their goals, as well as, again, maybe learning new skills that can help you outside of Toastmasters. So both leadership and administration are essential for a successful club. Next slide, please. Here we come to Club Central. Now, club administration begins with Club Central. How many of you have been on Club Central and are familiar with it? Maybe you could raise your hands. And it is essential, especially when you have new members or someone that's new in an officer role, if you do know how to get into to use Club Central, to again, train and mentor and have someone shadow you so that you can pass along the knowledge to someone else. But for those who haven't visited Club Central, it's an online platform provided by Toastmasters International that club officers use to manage the various administrative tasks of the club, such as updating membership information, submitting educational awards, and handling the dues payments. Now, only the club officers have access to Club Central. So all of the club management options are listed on the Club Central page. And to go through the different steps, first of all, you would locate Club Central. First, you have to log into Toastmasters, and you sign into your account. Then you go to the welcome, your name, and it'll appear at the top of the page. And you hover your cursor over that, and then a drop-down box will occur, and you select My Home option. And then as you scroll down, you'll see the Leadership Central heading. And that's how you get to Club Central. And then within Club Central, you can go to things like resources and reports, and you can choose to look at the Club Officer Tools tab to find out all kinds of things. So I would encourage all of you to go in and the officers to go in and play around in Club Central, because it has so many resources, and it helps your club become successful. Next slide, please. So one of the most important tools in Club Central is the membership list. And this is where you're going to find important information about each member of your club. The list is usually accurate and up to date. Sometimes it takes Toastmasters International a little bit longer. Things aren't always done the exact same day, but sometimes they are. So it helps things like having an effective communication tool or dues management. Updating and maintaining the membership list is an ongoing responsibility of the club secretary. Did you know that? The membership list and member payment status is found in Club Central. And you look under membership management, the tab that says membership management. And you can update a member's contact information there, the phone number, the email, or the billing address. And if you want to view payments and print receipts, you go to Club Financials in Club Central. Again, I'd encourage you to all go in and just play around with it so that you are familiar with what's available. And then at that point, if you need help learning how to do anything within Club Central, you can always call Toastmasters International in Colorado. They are on Mountain Time. So just remember that, but they'll walk you through how to use things. So you don't have to just, learn all this on your own. There is support. And of course, anybody in your club that knows how to use it can also help you. So this can be really helpful by going into Club Central. By going to Club Financials, it's really helpful to see who's paid and who hasn't. Next slide, please. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so let's see. My next slide. Oh, Club Central assigning club officer roles. Okay, so I guess we go to the next slide. We move 2 slides ahead. Let's see. Assign update officer roles. Okay, now it looks like mine. It's important that club officer changes and updates are promptly recorded in Club Central. Do this, keep it updated and go in as often as you can. Within Club Central, there's a tab labeled Club Officer Assignments. Next slide, please. Now the slide, okay, is, okay.
It's one of those slides.
It's one of those, okay. Okay, so club officer assignments, we looked at that last slide. So now we're going to look at this is the tab that where you club officers can assign and update officer roles. Set term dates. Okay, if a club officer cannot complete their term of office, for example, another officer could be elected by a majority vote within the club to complete the exiting officer's term. You can do this in Club Central. So the newly elected officer's term will, of course, well, the newly elected officer's term will end on either the 30th of June or the 31st of December, depending on how, depending if your club assigns new officers every 6 months or for a 1-year term. Okay, next slide, please. So you can go into Club Central and update this kind of thing if you are voting in new officers. Now, in Club Central, you can print off a club officer list if you need one, if you'd like. There's special restrictions, like the roles of president, secretary, and 1 vice president must be held by 3 different people. This ensures that clear separation of responsibilities and it supports a balanced club leadership. So 3 is also the minimum number of club officer roles that must be filled to be a club in good standing. Some smaller clubs, with maybe 8 members might have a hard time finding 7 officers. The 3 different officers can hold additional club officer roles if needed, though. And it's recommended that all club officer roles be filled if possible, and that the club officer roles are held, if possible, by different members. So you could double up on certain things, but you must have a president, you must have a secretary, and you must have 1 VP position. Next slide. There we go. Base camp. Okay, base camp. Within the club officer assignment tab, the beginning and end of each club officer's term, again, is recorded. And the term dates are when a term of office expires or starts. So this feature is especially, and this is true even if you, in some clubs, you may have the same officer role a couple of years in a row. Someone might be a president for 2 or 3 terms because of a shortage of membership. So this feature in Club Central is especially useful when a new club officer steps in at midterm. If the term dates are not updated to reflect the changes, though, neither the members nor Toastmasters International will have the correct contact information for that role, or for that officer. Now, most clubs have 12-month, 1-year terms that begin on Toastmasters fiscal year, which is July 1st through the next year, June 30th, and ends on June 30th of the next year. But if a club meets weekly, officers are eligible to serve a 6-month semi-annual term. But to me, it's a much easier idea to just have officers for 1 year. That way you don't have to keep looking for new officers and keep voting in new officers. So I suggest that a 1-year term is more ideal. The length, again, of your club officer's term is set in your club's constitution and can only be changed during a club business meeting with a quorum of members present. Next slide, please. So an important thing that you can do within the club officer assignment tab is to print a club officer list. Next slide, please. Before adding a new officer to Club Central, it's necessary to be aware of, special restrictions. Okay. So like the role of president, the role of secretary, and 1 vice president must be held, again, by 3 different people. So that's very important to understand. The other roles can be doubled up if necessary. So here we are at base camp pathways. The slide that's not that I'm now at. So the education award requests must be submitted in Basecamp. And Basecamp is now linked directly to Club Central. So all necessary information is already here. You just simply select the award the member has achieved and submit it. Toastmasters International is always updating, their website, and to make things easier for us. So hopefully things are now much easier to learn. Pathways achievement. So when members finish all the projects in a level of Pathways, their personal achievements in Pathways contribute to the overall club goal achievements and to the Distinguished Club Program. Some Toastmaster members like employer recognition. And that's another great feature. I don't know if everyone knows this, but it's an option that a letter can be sent to your employer. And you can choose this by either requesting it in an email, highlighting the member's dedication and growth. And this recognition can really make a positive impact in both their personal and professional lives. We are at the slide that I'm at right now. Celebrate Pathways level achievements. Again, by submitting your educational awards quickly into the Pathways system, you're not only tracking your members' progress, but boosting their morale, hopefully, and strengthening the club's learning culture, because it's really important, to get recognition for your achievements. And it not only, and it does, of course, help the club become a distinguished club at the end of the year. So it helps celebrate members and make sure that they know that their efforts are seen and that they're valued. And these, by completing different speeches and celebrating your pathways, you gain transferable skills that will help you in your everyday life. So let's see. And some clubs now recognition. Some clubs present members with Pathways level certificates at their club meetings, and I think this is a really nice thing to do. Recognition is very important, and it's something that should be included in your club calendar, your monthly calendar, so that everyone's achievements are recognized, and then it helps motivate and inspire people to keep going, to keep speaking, to keep getting better. And it helps members have tangible milestones to pursue, creating accomplishment and compliment, helping, create a sense of, I did this, look what I accomplished, and encourage them to reach even further. Next slide, please. The club constitution. Well, the club constitution is the foundational document that defines the purpose, the structure, and the guidelines for every Toastmasters club worldwide. And it's divided into 6 main sections. Now, how many of you have seen this club constitution page, or have what your club's constitution is? Be interesting to see how many people use it. We've got, is it Carolyn? Oh, this is just a different question, but this is something that not all officers are aware of. So section 1 is about purpose, and the Constitution begins with the purpose of each club, and it states the mission and expands on it. Next slide, please. Okay. Then we come to now we come to membership and fees. The Constitution defines membership eligibility and the fee structure. It includes the Toastmasters International fee of $60, the one-time new member fee, which is $20, and club fees to cover room and equipment rental if you are renting, and to purchase Toastmaster supplies and recognition items. Next slide. Section 3 is about meetings and voting. And it tells you about the guidelines of how regular and special meetings should be. It tells you how to run your meetings, and it gives you guidelines and rules for quorum and voting. And quorum requirements ensure that your club decisions reflect a fair representation of the membership. The voting is very important, and some clubs, well, especially if you're small, you still need a quorum to vote on changing some kind of changing the way you run your meetings, or deciding how often you're going to meet or at what time. So you need to vote on things like that. Then next slide, please, is section 4. Renee, you're right on it. You're already there. Officers and responsibilities. The Constitution describes the roles and the duties of each club officer. It gives really clear definitions of the responsibilities, and it's really important to know the responsibilities of your role. It's crucial to help each leader understand what their role is and to support the club in fulfilling its mission. And then we come to section 5, which is committees. Committees give members the opportunity to begin their leadership journey by serving on the education committee, the membership committee, public relations, or social and reception committees. Each of your clubs hopefully have enough members to serve on a committee for each officer role. That way you have people on your team and you don't have to do everything alone. And it also is a great way to help train the next person that takes your role. And then we come to district and international voting rights. Now, clubs have 2 votes at the yearly international speech contest. And clubs have 2 votes at the district council meetings that take place, and at the annual Toastmasters, again, international business meeting, which is held at the yearly speech contest time. So please exercise your vote, your right to vote. And here is some additional information that may help you, is that the president and the secretary both can vote at the international speech contest meeting, or it's called the business meeting. And if you can't vote, then you can assign a proxy to take it to, and it can be given in special circumstances. So if you assign a proxy, if you can't be there to vote in person, then call Toastmaster International for more information, because within each, say, state or district, different rules apply. And so make sure that you have, Toastmasters International phone number on speed dial so that you can have access to them anytime you need. And I have found it best to call first thing in the morning if you can, because that's when I have gotten the most help. You call during the day, sometimes people are in meetings, but just call them whenever you can, because they're really, really helpful. Okay, next slide, please. Club Central again, financial management. Yeah, show me the money. Within Club Central is the membership management portal, where member dues can be paid. Membership payments are due twice a year, with the deadlines on September 30th and March 31st. Now,
where did it go?
Members can also choose to pay for a full Toastmasters year if they choose. That way, that was done for a whole year. If they know that they, they're going to be staying with your awesome club, and it's taken care of. And it makes the job easier, whoever's collecting the dues. So keeping track of the deadlines of September 30th and March 31st is really important because it ensures that all members, remain active and eligible to participate fully. In this portal of financial management, you also have a convenient tool that calculates the dues automatically. And it's especially helpful with guests that are joining at different times throughout the year. Now, Club Central's membership management portal accepts payments through various methods, including credit cards, wire transfers, or wire transfers. So members have flexibility in how they pay. I have not experienced wire transfers. I've only experienced the credit cards, but different districts, states may do things differently. Clubs may also opt to enable the self-pay option for members to log in and to submit their own Toastmaster International renewal payments. Many clubs charge supplementary fees to cover costs like paying rent. Next slide, please. Purchasing, maybe paying to purchase best speaker and other acknowledgement ribbons that you award at club meetings, or things like food, tea and coffee for certain occasions like open houses. So these supplementary club fees are not paid through Club Central to Toastmasters International. The clubs collect these fees separately for deposit to the club's bank account. Next slide, please. We're already here, local regulations. So local regulations vary by county, state, or territory. What clubs need to do in the countries of their participants is to register as an association. Sometimes you need to do that. Others can exist without any formal legal requirements. So I'm going to read the local regulations. For most District 205 clubs, the basic compliance steps are to follow Toastmasters governing documents, keep accurate financial records, and use the club EIN for banking, and file the California 199N when required. And contact Toastmasters International's treasury or legal team before incorporating, fundraising publicly, holding significant assets, or responding to any government inquiry. Now, for questions about what your club's rules are, I would suggest asking your district's finance manager for the answers. And the EIN number it's the same as the district EIN number. So we're all part of, right now, we're all in California, we're all part of the 501c. But you need to check your state's regulations if you're not in California. And now Renee is going to share with you about her club branding expertise.
Thank you so much, Deborah. All right, I'm going to start off by saying every single club has a VPPR. And we've just gone through training and they have all the information about the branding requirements. So as I go on hyperspeed right now, if you have any questions, contact your VPPR, and they also have my email address so they can contact me if they have any further questions. So let's turn our attention to branding. It is more than just a logo. It's an overall experience that members and guests have when they interact with your club. So what does your club do to promote itself? Does your club follow the Toastmasters branding guidelines? This is some of the things we're going to look at really fast. What is a brand? For those of you who don't know what a brand is, a brand answers key questions about who we are, how we are seen, and what people experience when they interact with us as Toastmasters. It's more than just a logo or a name, it's a full picture of what we represent and promise, and the promise that we make to those who we serve. There are several important aspects of our branding to consider, and I'd like to get to those really fast. First one, of course, is our identity, who we are. The Toastmasters brand stands out because of its identity. You've heard people go, "Oh, I've heard about Toastmasters." That is beyond our logo. It is our brand. It's our commitment to personal growth, leadership, and connection. The perception asks, how do others see us? There are people that go, "Ooh, Toastmasters is so good." And there's some people that are not so happy about Toastmasters. But our brand is how people perceive us. And we are seen, for the most part, as a supportive, empowering community built on countless stories of individual growth and transformation. Consistency asks, how do we maintain our standards? So consistency across all clubs around the world ensures members know what to expect, reinforcing the brand's promise of a structured and supportive environment. During the pandemic, many of our clubs locally here had people who were members from all over the world. Then we have trust. Trust is, can we be relied upon? Trust is built by consistently delivering a safe space for growth where members can rely on Toastmasters to help them achieve their goals. And finally, experience. How do we make members feel? The experience of being a Toastmaster is memorable, creating a sense of camaraderie and achievement that keeps members engaged and coming back. And some Toastmasters talk about the friends that they've had for life. This powerful impact is made possible because each club plays a vital role in bringing the brand to life through every meeting and member interaction. It is a symbolic partnership between the club and the brand. This is a part of the brand that everyone is responsible for, right? So how does Toastmasters brand support the clubs, right? That's how and why does the Toastmasters brand support the clubs? It's all about, I was going to say, put it in the chat, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is a century of experience. We've already passed the 100-year anniversary. That was 2024, right? And it is credibility and recognition. So first, with over a century of experience, right? We are building on a century of success in communication and leadership skills and development. So people already know that. In credibility and recognition, we're being a part of Toastmasters means instant credibility, right? If you want to have a speakers club, you say Toastmasters, people go, okay. And let's build more clubs, by the way. So the brand is known and it's respected worldwide, which makes it easier for our clubs to attract people and to build new clubs and to be a part of a reputable organization. Next, there's resources and guidelines, right? Toastmasters provides us with practical resources like meeting templates, marketing tools, training programs, and these make it easier for our clubs to run smoothly and maintain high standards. You don't have to figure it out from the beginning. It's been done and tested. Finally, we have a unified identity. The Toastmasters brand connects each club to a unified global network, giving each member a sense of belonging and shared purpose with people in clubs all over the world. Let's talk about how clubs can help the Toastmasters brand be built. These are the 4 ways. First of all, living the brand values. This means we embody integrity, respect, service, and excellence every time we meet. Secondly, consistency through space and time. This means that clubs worldwide over the years all follow the same brand standards, creating a recognizable and trusted Toastmasters identity everywhere. Next, the community presence. This makes the Toastmasters brand visible and valued, whether through events or simply word of mouth. For us at San Carlos Toastmasters, if we say to the library we want an event, they say yay, and they market us. Woohoo! And it's always wonderful. So finally, testimonials and success stories. Stories from our members showcase the real impact of Toastmasters, proving what's possible on this journey. So what is next? Deborah will help you understand what's most important for the first 6 months of the Toastmasters year. Welcome back, Deborah.
Thank you, Renee. The Toastmasters has a very structured timeline, and it comes with key milestones and deadlines. And it's not limited to membership growth events, area or district council events and elections. There's lots of steps to follow to ensure that your club is successful and can work toward becoming a Smedley Distinguished Club by June 30th of that year. Next slide, please. Building a club calendar. Now, this is something that is very important to have a club calendar. I have not experienced many clubs yet that have one, but I do know someone who actually created a club calendar handbook for their district. And this is something that would really make clubs run much smoother and helps you schedule special meetings, open houses, workshops, celebrations, Toastmaster deadlines, club contest dates. The calendar is your guide for the whole year. So ask yourself, how does your club build its club calendar? Something to think about. First of all, clubs should plan for the entire year. They should schedule special meetings and put it in the calendar. And they should identify and include all Toastmaster deadlines. Again, things like assigning a club proxy to a member attending the Toastmasters International Yearly Convention, or to the district director meeting by the end of July 31st, so that renewing at least 8 members by September 30th and the 31st of March, and membership campaigns such as the Smedley Award can be recognized. So also, it'll help with clubs choosing contest dates. Also, it will help with just running the club smoothly for the whole year. So you know exactly what needs to be done when, and you can check off if it's been done or not. And finally, the club calendar should be reviewed during each club officer meeting to track the club's progress toward whether their goals have been achieved or whether things have changed, plans have changed in order to achieve their goals. So next slide, please. Now we have things that are supposed to be doing if everything were able to be run very smoothly and efficiently in clubs. Every month there's something that could be done and be included in the club calendar. So it's the club leadership handbook lists all the dates of lists all the dates on these slides and more. It's a quick breakdown of key dates throughout the Toastmasters year, and it ensures that your club stays organized and on track to be successful. So let's quickly take a minute to review each month from July through, well, July to December on this slide right here. July. Okay, July 1st is the beginning of our new fiscal year, and a new Toastmaster year begins. New officers start their roles and attend. You can also, it's a time to attend club officer training to learn about the Smedley campaign plan. Next slide is August. This is the month that it's best to do your Moments of Truth meeting. Talk about when you're going to do it and who's going to do it, and to create a club success plan with distinguished club goals and how they're going to be created. Next slide, please. September 30th is the deadline for submitting club success plans and membership dues for our October renewal period. So, and it's the round 1 time period for club contests. Next slide, please. Membership renewals must be submitted by October 1st to maintain your active club status through March 31st. Next slide, please. November 1st is when you do this, when the second round of club officer training starts. And club officer elections for weekly clubs is held that elect biannually, which again, I'm suggesting that it be done annually if possible. Next slide, please. December 31st is when it's time to submit club officer lists for the clubs that do biannual elections. And the first half of the year ends. And you can see what has your club achieved. Next slide, please. Okay. So then we come to resources. And here's another question to ask yourself. What resources are available to club officers? Do you know what resources are available? Well, let's click and go to the next slide to show the list of resources that are available. You can find support for all the resources that are available to for club officers or just for your club at Club Central. The Club Leadership Handbook, it also is a great resource from videos and tutorials and other resources that are on the Toastmasters website. Club Central has a wide range of resources available. And again, I encourage you to go on the site and navigate and learn your way around and where things are and how to, so you can use all the tools available. And there's also training on how to have districts, how you can get district support. So your area and division directors are also available to provide support. And when you're working with members, if you don't know the answer to one of the questions that's asked, it's a good time, and you don't know the answer, it's a very good time for everyone to learn the answers so that you can pass on your knowledge to other members and officers. So many districts hold additional training and webinars on topics like managing base camp or how to promote your club, for example. And these sessions are usually open to members from other districts. So that's why it's really good to visit other clubs and see how things are going. And you meet new people, and then you find out information that that you didn't know, and maybe find out a way to attend one of these webinars that will teach you how to learn something new or to find resources. So if you think you want to attend one of these webinars that are available, you need to register, and then you'll get the link to attend. So it is a great way to learn and to network. So the bottom line is you're not alone as a club officer. You're part of a team. It's your club executive team. And you're also part of, you're a very important part of the district team and our global organization. So thank you for serving your club as a club officer, and your members, thank you as well. Next slide, please. So thank you for participating in club officer training. You can prepare your flight plan, your club success plan, decide your destination, define your goals in the Distinguished Club Program, and then provide excellent customer service to your members. We want your clubs to soar to new heights this year. And again, I say that's a wrap, and General Session 2 is now complete.